Hey everyone. Today we're going to do something really different. As you can see in the vise, we don't have a jig, but we have a size 4 treble hook. Um, I had quite a few people ask me about dressing, making their own feather trebles, and so that's what we're going to do today. Um, Now, choosing the dressing on these, you can use, I know, like trout guys on their inline spinners, they like to have a squirrel tail or buck tail because it's a little buoyant and bulks it up a little bit. Um, can also tie feathers and just like the X-Wraps and some other lures that have feather trebles. That's what we're going to do here. I'm going to show you how to do this, and it'll be actually a good bit cheaper. You can buy whatever hook you like and make your own feather trebles to replace on your crankbaits and top waters. So let's get started. Uh, on this one here, I'm going to use red uh, 210 denier flat wax nylon. And on these, you can actually go smaller. You can go down to 70 denier. I like to keep it at 210 because it just makes it sturdy and it's what I'm comfortable using. What we're going to do is we're going to put a base, just like we do when we're tying a jig, and we're going to start it right below that line tie. Okay, and what we're going to do too is we're not going to make it all the way down. We're just going to make a small area where we're going to tie. Now this one's going to be a feather treble. So what we're going to do is we're going to put feathers and flash. Very simple. And I'm going to use this, which is just simply pearl gray flash, and I'm going to use some blue dun hackle. Now you see your hackle comes in a feather. You pull the feather off, you get strung hackle. That's all you need. Take it, and where you see this webby stuff, this real fluffy stuff, just pull it down, snip it off, and you're left with the feather. You use larger feathers. I got these small ones because it's easier to work with. Okay. Now, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to add our flash. Because it's such a small area, I'm going to fold the flash. I'm going to fold my flash in half. Try to get it pretty close. And snip it in half. Now, just like on a jig, put the two strands there. Fold it over and trim. Now, most of your feather trebles are going to come with personal preference. If you like a specific one on a certain bait, you can line it up and try to make sure your feather and all is even with how it's done from the factory. But I prefer to make my own custom links, and eventually you'll get to the point where you don't even have to measure it. You'll know what looks right, and you get it to where you can just eyeball it. Now I'm going to add a little couple more pieces of flash here. And one more fold over to secure it. And that's it. Our flash is tied in. And you see it doesn't look like much, but we got it in. Now we're going to take this feather that I cut. Now you're going to notice when you look at the feather sideways, you're going to notice it has a bend. You want it basically hands apart. You want the feather to bend outwards, not inward. So you're going to take your feather, and I want it to be just about at the end of the flash here. I'm going to strip some barbs off the end there and leave this little, sorry about the lighting, I'm going to leave this little plug there to tie in. And you're going to tie in on one of the flat surfaces first. One. I went ahead and cut one earlier. Simply, we'll use this one. This one's nicer. Line it up. Strip some barbs off to give you that little end piece right there. We're going to put it on the other flat spot. And we're going to tie. Keep it relatively tight. Now you can add a third feather, or you can leave it go at 2. I'm going to go and I'm going to add a third one. Now, of course, I already cut these and measured them, so I didn't have to really trim them. But normally, if I didn't have them, I would set my distance, and I would get them all ready before I started tying. So we're going to line this up. We're going to line it up on the flat side, and we're going to tie down. And there we have all 3 feathers tied in. Going to make our wraps, and I'm using red thread. This is something else that you can do, is you can use different colored thread and you'll get that. I like the red. You can use black or blue, whatever you like to add more accent to it. The thread can definitely be an accent for it. And we're going to whip finish just like a normal fly or a jig. Cinch it down one more time. Cinch it down. I'm going to trim it. Now I'm going to take my Sally Hansen's Hard as Nails. Seal up the threads. And voila. Now you have your own dress treble hook. You can get real fancy with it. You could do a lot of different things. You can add grizzly hackle, but it saves you a lot of money, and you can really do some neat stuff. You can add as much flash you want, customize it any way you want, and your baits will be better off, and you'll catch more fish, and you'll have fun doing it. That's all we got. Thanks for watching. Let me know how you like that.